Hello, everyone. As always, this is Zade, and I am here with my 250 subscriber question and answer video. It's a little late, but it's here. I'm ready to do it. First of all, though, before I start answering the questions, I just want to say thank you to every single one of you that has subscribed to me already and has been for a while. I really appreciate it. It just makes YouTube doing the videos and stuff so much more fun when people are actually watching you and interacting with you and things like that. So if it wasn't for you guys, this whole thing would be pointless, and I wouldn't even be here doing this. And I really love doing this. So really thank you very much for following. And if you're new to the channel, you just randomly found this video somewhere, thanks for watching, and hopefully you enjoy what you see, and you'll enjoy the other stuff on my channel, and you'll be a new subscriber. That said, here's to 500. Let's get started. I have some questions right here on this little note papers here that I've been asked by various viewers and friends, and I'm going to go ahead and answer some of those questions for you right now. Alright, so the first question comes from a viewer by the name of Jack Robinson, and he asked, I know this is pretty old, but what is your view on Microsoft buying Mojang? I don't want to get like hugely into it and turn this all into like this big giant like Microsoft buying Mojang video. I've never spoken it on camera before, so I did decide to go ahead and answer this question just very briefly, just my quick thoughts. And basically, Microsoft is they know they're not just buying Minecraft. If they were just buying Minecraft, they would not have spent $2.5 billion. They know that they're buying Minecraft and they're buying into the community that comes with Minecraft. And if they do anything crazy that's going to make all of those people mad or push any of those people away, then they were just throwing 250 or $2.5 billion away. And that would be ridiculous of them. They're not going to do anything stupid. And if by some weird chance they do something stupid, then the people who have made this nice Minecraft community that exists online and in person with other people, I see it all over the place, uh, they'll find a new game. They'll find something else to rally around, and everything will be fine. And beyond that, all we can do is wait and see what happens, and there's no use worrying about it. It is what it is, and we're all just along for the ride. Next question comes from a viewer who's been watching me for a while now. I see his name popping up a lot. His name is Mac Newman, and he asks, if you could live anywhere, money aside, where would you live? I thought about it and I couldn't come up with anything special that I would want to move to or anything like that. Honestly, I mean, I'm on the computer a lot. I do a lot of YouTube. I do streaming, and pretty much anything else I do on the computer involves the internet. So I would definitely have to live somewhere where I could get some good internet. I couldn't live out in the middle of nowhere or anything like that. And other than that, I'm a big tree fan. Shade in the summer, things like that. So areas with lots of trees, I'm a big fan of. Mountains, I'm a big fan of. Not into the flat grassy places. Nothing wrong with them. They're just not as cool. I actually live in a place like that right now, and so honestly, I've had the opportunity to move away from here a number of times already, and I'm just not interested. Nothing's piqued my interest for any reason that would have me move anywhere else. I'm happy where I am. I already own a couple of houses where I am. I'm gonna have to tweet out some pictures of my view out the window sometime because it's awesome, and really, yeah, I'm happy right where I am. All right, next question is from 101 Corpse Man, and he asks, do you have any tattoos? And the answer to that question would be no. I do not have any tattoos. I do not have anything against tattoos. I've just never had anything in specific that I would like enough to put anywhere on my body and spend all that money and have that permanent mark. If the right thing came along at some point in time, maybe I might get one. I don't know. I've seen a lot on other people that look really great, and I've seen some tattoos that I'm like, yeah, maybe were you drunk or I don't know. So you got to be careful with tattoos because obviously they're there for a long time, and if you get something that's really stupid, you're stuck with it unless you can cover it up somehow. And I've never had anything that appealed to me enough the tattoo onto my body that I wouldn't be like, I don't know what I'm going to think about that in a few months. So yeah, no tattoos. 101 Corpse Band also asked a question that was also asked by Jay Plays, basically the same wording and everything. So I'm just going to answer it for both of them. The question was, what is your favorite movie? I have quite a few, but I think that there's two that are probably pretty much tied for number one. There are a lot of runner-ups, but I think the two best contenders for favorite movie ever would be one would be Gladiator, awesome movie, and the other one would be the movie King Arthur. Of course, there's a lot of Arthur movies. Just to clarify, that's the movie King Arthur starring Clive Owen. I think it came out in like 2004, I want to say. But yeah, those two. Next questions come from Stud Muffin Sam. He actually has 3 questions that I'm going to answer here. The first one we'll do quick, easy: Pepsi or Coke? Definitely Pepsi. Now, to clarify, it's not so much because of Pepsi. Anybody who's followed me a lot or for a while now, Twitter and things like that especially, will know that I'm a huge Mountain Dew fan, which is, of course, made by the Pepsi company. And the other side of that would actually be that out of every soda in the world that I have ever tasted, Coke is actually one of my least favorite sodas. So, sorry, Coke fans, but you lost me there. Sam's second question: what is your favorite video game? I'll answer this in 2 ways. One, my current favorite video game is actually Minecraft, if you haven't noticed by all the Minecraft videos on my YouTube channel. There are some other nice ones, but definitely right now would be Minecraft. But my favorite game of all time probably still has to be Warcraft 2. Very great game, played it a lot as a kid. I still have the disc somewhere around here. Maybe I should play that one of these days again. It's been a little while. His third question is, what would be your dream job? Honestly, I wish I knew. If I knew, I would probably be doing it at this point in life. That's one of the reasons, is that I still just like deliver pizza for a living. And yeah, I honestly just have no idea what I want to do. To me, mostly a job is a job. If it pays the bills, then good job. If it's not super stressful, crazy hours, then I'm happy. Yeah, I don't know. Next, I have a question from another server mate of mine, Random Obsessor. Would like to know what she claims all the kids want to know. I don't know why the kids would want to know this, but for some reason she has asked me the question, do you have eyebrows? This is, of course, because she really enjoys the fact that I shave my head and likes to call me Baldy. It's cool. My coworkers call me Baldy too. It's a nickname, whatever. Do I have eyebrows? Yes, I do. Thanks for asking. Up next, my friends K and C, Kibitz and the Captain. Probably gonna guess, honestly, the Kibitz asked most of these, but I don't know. Mr. Fresh may have had something to do with it. They actually have a few questions here for me. I think I'm gonna answer pretty much all of them. Of course, he says, quote, not sure if you saw the other questions. I did. I have them both. 2 pages. But here are a few you can pick from and choose from, or answer all of them and be the coolest kid on the block. So officially here in a minute, I will be the coolest kid on the block. Let's just jump into these questions. Question number 1. How did you pick your username? I think I've answered this in a video a long time ago, but if you haven't seen that, the username originally comes from, it's a shortened version of the name Zadrian Zicero, which is actually a name I used a long time ago as a young teenager for the game Dungeons and Dragons for a character once. It was one of 2 names that I used for a lot of things, but I haven't used the other one for a long time. So I just have over the years used it again and again for things whenever I'm like, oh, I don't know what name I want. And when I signed up for Minecraft, actually I had decided I'm going to use my other name because I haven't used it forever. Typed it in, it was taken, it's a lot more common. And I said, whatever, I'll just try the other one, and it worked. But the way I put it in, I didn't like, so it's changed, which kind of gets to your next question, so I'll just jump into that. It says, if you could change your Minecraft name, what would you change it to? My original Minecraft username, if you followed my channel for a long time, was XadeCraft. Again, short for Zadrian Zacero, but the way it was written, everyone read it as the name Adrian with an X and a Z in front of it, as if I had just been like, oh, I want my name, which is Adrian, and it's taken, so I'm just gonna slap some letters around the edges. Nobody got that it was like Zadrian and then the initial Z at the end. So I actually finally got sick of being called Adrian everywhere because I hadn't even thought of it until I started using the name online. So now my name is Zade. Zade, of course, was taken by some guy with the Steve skin. What a jerk. So I went ahead and joined the cool kids club and put an underscore after my name. So yeah, that's what I would change it to. If I could, I would change it to just Zade. But underscores are pretty cool. They're going out of style, but I'm keeping it real. Their next question was, do you have a job? And what is it? I think I mentioned it a little bit ago on one of the other questions. I deliver pizza for a living. I drive to people's houses and I hand them hot pizza and they hand me money and I leave. And if they have kids, then I'm like a superhero, which is pretty cool. So yeah. That said, order pizza right now. Maybe I'll show up at your door. I mean, not right now because I'm at home filming this video, but I think when this video goes up, I'll actually be at work. So you never know. If you happen to live where I live and you order it, maybe I'll show up at your door with a pizza. If I don't, tip whoever does nice. Give them a nice big tip. Your next question was, what is your favorite game besides Minecraft? I already answered what my favorite game of all time was, which is still honestly a little bit ahead of Minecraft, so I'll answer what is my favorite game besides Minecraft right now. And I'm almost ashamed to admit it, but it is probably stupid phone game apps on my phone, which is right here. Right now, I am currently playing a game called Knights and Dragons. Don't tell anyone. Yeah. Next question. Ooh, let's just keep moving. What were some of your childhood hobbies? As a kid, when I was younger, I did sports, like really, really young. I did soccer and then I did basketball. Like, I think basketball would have been the latest, and I stopped when I was like 11 or 12, maybe. But the oldest, it might have been before that. Soccer was even younger. Other than that, I was big on playing around outside, because back when I was a kid, kids actually went outside and played. I know that's a strange concept to people now, but we really did that. I had a tree hut in my backyard, which was pretty cool, and things like that. I played a lot of board games, customizable card games. Never got into Magic, which would be the one that most people would know still, but I played things like Legend of the Five Rings, Star Trek the card game. That's right, I did it, and things like that. And then when I was 10ish, somewhere in there, I saved up my own money, bought my first computer, and I stopped most of those other things and have mostly been into computers, board games, things like that. That pretty much sums it up. Other than that, it was just like random, like that sounds fun, cool, next thing. So probably not really a hobby, just like experimenting with fun stuff. He also asks, what is my favorite animal? I tried to think of this for a while now, and I couldn't come up with one, honestly. I like animals, some of them are pretty cool. Big fan of like Discovery Channel shows that talk about especially like ancient animals that you don't really see anymore and stuff. But the closest thing I could come up with was the panther. Yeah, I don't know. They just seem like cool animals. So let's say that. Okay. He also asked a couple questions that had previously been asked. Like, let's see, what was it mainly? Yeah, I don't remember. I crossed them off. I'll answer all of them. The only one that he asked still that I haven't already answered or will answer is, will the Ugly Block Challenge series ever make a comeback? If you've been with my channel for a while, if not, you can go look them up Did a series of called the Ugly Block Challenge, which was basically I would pick a block that was generally considered ugly and challenge everyone to build something that was not ugly, primarily using that block, featuring that block. Will it ever come back? I don't think so, not in that exact format, though I have been bouncing around with the idea of another series, which would kind of be the same, but not exactly the same. It would be a similar building challenge that would feature a certain block, but not necessarily an ugly block. There's only so many ugly blocks in the game, there's only so much you can do with that. And then the format of the videos and the outcomes and things like that would be a little bit different, a little more in depth. So I would like to get those out as soon as I can hash it out, but I'm still kind of bouncing the idea around in here, and we'll see what happens. So maybe, kind of, I guess would be the best answer there. Up next, we have a few questions from CJ Coder. I'll get all three of those because they were pretty good questions. Let's see. I guess actually this was kind of a two-part, so it's kind of four-part, four questions. The first one is, what was your most serious injury and or illness? I've been lucky so far in my life. I haven't had any real serious injuries. I think the worst thing I've had is like strep throat, tonsillitis type stuff. Uh, Debatably, you could say I've had shingles, if you've ever heard of that, but I had a really mild shingles. It like went away after a day of medicine, and it never really hurt like some people have had. So I wouldn't count that. I'd say injury wise, I've had a lot of cuts that needed stitches. Um, None of them were like super serious, but I don't know if you can see it on the camera. I actually have a scar right here, right there. I don't know if that's going to show up on YouTube. I got that. My first stitches in my life, I was 1 year old, fell off a piano bench and hit the corner with my head. Another time I actually crashed on my bike. I had stitches in my chin, and while I still had the stitches in my chin, I went camping and slid on some gravel running around, and a small rock, just a little pebble, went into my knee and cut my knee open, and I had to go to the hospital and get that all stitched up. And I didn't even know the pebble was in there until after, because they like numbed me up. I couldn't feel anything, and then I like lay back. So I laid back and I was just staring at the ceiling. And then afterwards, they're like, "Oh yeah, we pulled this little rock out of you." Unfortunately, I didn't find out about the rock until we were actually like driving home. It was my dad who was like, "Oh yeah, we pulled this out of you." And he didn't keep the rock, which I was a little disappointed in. I wish I still had that, but I do not, which is a bummer. Next question from CJ is, do you prefer to move often or do you like to stay in the same place? I definitely like to stay in the same place. I have moved around a lot, especially as a teenager, early 20s, with friends moving from different apartments and things like that. Um, Moving in the same town isn't the end of the world, but it's kind of moving's just such a pain. You have to pack everything up, move it, pull it all back out, reset it up, figure it out. The excitement of getting into a new place is cool, but it's just so much work. Yeah, I'd definitely rather just stay in one place, especially as far as if you're talking like moving towns. I wouldn't want to do that a lot because then you have to make all new friends for the most part. You got to find a new job. You got to find all new everything. Yeah, I definitely like to stay in the same place. Our next question is, do you have any irrational fears? Not necessarily a phobia, but something that freaks you out. She says, for me, it's spiders and centipedes. I don't actually. I'm sure there are things that if I encountered, I would be extremely afraid of, but I wouldn't say that any of them would be irrational. I used to be very afraid of spiders. I was extremely arachnophobic, so much so, as a young teenager, I remember one night I went to go to bed and I saw a spider on my ceiling. And it was just like one of those little common house spiders, no big deal. And I had to get my parents. My dad came up, killed the spider, got rid of it, and then they went to bed. And I was about to go to bed, and I was so freaked out that there were more spiders in the room that I actually had to get up and go sleep in the guest room that night. But when I got a little older, I started being like, okay, if I see a spider, I'm just gonna kill it myself. And I started to realize like they're so easy to kill. especially like house spiders, they're so harmless. They're so little. You can just smash them. I started coming up with creative ways to kill them. I won't get on into that on camera because some of them might be considered torture. But I realized like these things are harmless. I'm so much, more powerful than they are that I shouldn't be afraid of these little guys. And I haven't had a problem with spiders since. And I don't think there's anything else that's really along those lines. So I would say I used to have an irrational fear, but I don't anymore. Our final question is any large regrets in your life? Anything you wish you could do over? Or any time you would like to live over again? And to hit each part of that, I would kind of say, no, I actually do not have any regrets in life. Um, I'm a kind of person I believe that there's no use wasting time and energy on how you wish something would have turned out, how you would have done it better, and that you wish you could go back and do it all over again. By all means, if you make a mistake, you should learn from it. If you have an experience, you should learn. If I'm ever in that situation again, I will handle it like this instead. But I don't think there's any time just sitting around regretting things. Whatever happened, happened. And the only thing you can do going forward is anything to, if you've caused a problem or something, you can do things to fix it, or you can do things to make sure it doesn't repeat itself and things like that, and you should focus on those. But focusing on the regret, it doesn't help you with anything. It doesn't accomplish anything. All it's going to do is cause stress and drama in your life, and you shouldn't regret anything. Just go with the flow. All right, next question is from Grungy Ankfire. He's a fellow Too Crafty server mate of mine, and he has asked, let's see, what is your fondest Too Crafty related memory? And this caused a little delay on the video because I had to try to think of some, and in the end, I couldn't really narrow it down to like a favorite. There's been so many good times on the server. This is a great group of people, and I really love it. That's why a lot of my videos are basically just Too Crafty Minecraft videos. Really good people on the server. If you haven't checked out the other guys on the server, do it because there are some really cool people here. There are some cool people that have been on the server in the past that aren't with us anymore, unfortunately. There are some new people with us now, and some people that have been with us the whole time. You should definitely check them all out. Um, I came up with a few favorite times that I've had. Some of them were on camera, some of them were off camera. Actually, unfortunately, a lot of these were off camera when we've just kind of been messing around together. And I would say three of the ones that really come to mind as a really fun time. One was the very first night that we started the server, the very first night of season one, mostly off camera stuff that was going down, but it was just all of us. Some of us knew each other a little bit from beforehand. Random Obsessed and I, for example, were on a server before this. And everyone else, it was you were kind of getting to meet him for the first person, but we just all instantly clicked and had a great time. And we sat online that night for hours. I believe it was Khan that stayed up with me pretty much all night. I had to run around on those crazy amplified mountains that we had. We started our original spawn in a mesa, and we wanted cows and sheep to get going on things, and I went to a neighboring plains and dragged them back. And I don't know if you've ever dragged, this was before leads came out, so I was using wheat. Maybe leads were out and I just didn't have slime balls, but I had to use wheat to get these cows and sheep to follow me over amplified mountains. So it was like going, climb mountain, and then you had to somehow get down the mountain without killing the cow. And yeah, it was crazy, but the whole night was a good time. Um, Another one that comes up is again in season one, tearing down the mountain at spawn with Sam. I had been looking at our shopping district at spawn for a while now, and going, just man, I wish we had more room here. How can we get more room here? I don't know. And one day Sam came up to me and said, Zade, I think we should tear this mountain down. And I was like, okay, let's just do it right now. And so the two of us went, and you've seen the amplified mountains in our Too Crafty videos. They're not small. We just right then and there just tore down the mountain. Random Obsessor came over and helped a little bit, but removing that mountain, I don't know why, it was a fun time. And the other one that really sticks out with me is pretty much all of the pranks. I love the pranks, the fun behind the pranks. Some are better than others, but they're all pretty good. But my favorite prank memory so far was towards the end of last season. For me, I think it was probably one of those things that was more entertaining for me than anyone else. But the prank I did on Scarvese at the end of last season, it he pranked me, and to get revenge, first of all, I think I got 3 actual Too Crafty episodes out of building this underground bunker and essentially just kind of trolling him under his own base without him knowing. I think it was probably more entertaining for me to do it. I almost got caught a couple times when he logged on, but he never found me. And then we built this giant alien. I had Stud Muffin Sam and Jay plays. They both came over and helped me build this huge alien next to his base. Now that was a great time. So I would say those 3 would be a couple of really good examples, but there's been a lot, so it's hard to choose. Okay, so to finish off, Jay Plays asked me a ton of questions, and I wasn't going to answer them all, but then I said, why not? Most of them are pretty simple, straightforward, quick answers anyway, so I'm just going to rapid fire, finish these off. Let's see, make sure I have them all in front of me. There's none on that sheet, none on that sheet. I guess they're all right here. There's like this whole page is pretty much J except this like top little line right here. So first question, where is your hair? Well, not here. It is mostly in my trash can where I swept it up and threw it away because I try to shave my head every 3 to 4 days. And yeah, that's where the rest of my hair is. It's in the garbage can. What made you decide to be a YouTuber? This was also one of the questions asked by Kibitz earlier. Kibitz and the Captain. I was always interested in doing YouTube videos. I could just never come up with a reason to make a YouTube video. I never had an idea that would be interesting at all. And so I never did for a long time, like years. And then I lost my job, my old job. I parted ways on fun terms, but we won't get into that right now. And I didn't have anything to do suddenly. And I'd just started Minecraft not too long before that. I'd seen the other people doing Let's Plays, and I thought, even if this isn't interesting for anyone else, it sounds fun for me. So I'm going to try it, and I did, and here we are at 250 subscribers, as it says right there. So again, thank you all for that. His next question, he says, you take in kittens. Why? For those of you who don't know, we foster kittens. By we, I mostly mean my wife. Actually, I don't take in kittens. I've tweeted some pictures out of these, I think is where most people know this information from. But yeah, it's not me that takes in cats, it's my wife. She fosters kittens for the animal shelter here. Any cats they get that are too young to be adopted yet, we take care of them until they're old enough, make sure they're eating, things like that. And sometimes if they get cats that are not all the way feral but a little nervous of people, we'll take them in and socialize them for a few weeks and then they get adopted out. It's all my wife, it's just something she likes to do, so we do it. And I just get to go in and play with really cute little tiny kittens sometimes, so it works out for me. What is my favorite food? Does Mountain Dew count as a food? Because I would definitely say Mountain Dew. I'm going to just go with that. His next question is, what is your favorite color? My favorite color is blue. Not just any blue. I would say kind of a royal blue. I'm trying to look around and see if I see anything that is of that color blue, and I don't see any. It's kind of like, where's my finger? I gotta look at the camera. This blue, everything's backwards. That blue right there, that inner shadow of my logo in the background, is close to that, maybe a little bit brighter. His next question is, if you were a superhero, who would you be and what powers would you have? I would probably, all of them, obviously. But if you don't want to take that cheap cop-out answer, I would pick 2. if you're gonna keep it simple, because you can only have so many superpowers, or there, I mean, you'd be like boring like Superman. Ooh, sorry, Superman lovers. He has too many powers. It's just not cool. I would pick two. So number one, I would definitely go with healing powers, kind of like Wolverine, regenerate, things like that. Never have to worry. You could have a little more crazy fun because if you get hurt, whatever, it's just going to go away. You don't have to waste time being sick because being sick sucks, right? So never having to get sick would be super awesome. And the other one would be like super speed, like the Flash or something. Do anything really, really fast, almost fast to the point where you kind of bend time. So like, it's like instant because then like you could get a job to pay the bills that was one of those, get this much work done and then you're done. It doesn't matter how many hours you take you. So you could just go to work and it would be like whoop and it'd be a minute and you would have done all week's worth of work and then you would get paid for your 1 minute and then you would have all week to like relax and play video games or whatever it is you like to do. Like that would be super awesome, right? I think so. He also, Jay Plays, is a fellow wrestling fan of mine. For those of you who don't know, if you don't watch my Twitter around pay-per-view Sundays, I am a big wrestling fan. He asked me if you could wrestle anyone, who would you choose and why? And I honestly tried to think of some super amazing creative, like, oh, it'd be cool to wrestle this person or that person. But whenever I thought about it, I realized in actuality, I wouldn't want to wrestle any of those guys because as cool as it would be to be like, oh yeah, I got stomped into the corner. I got a mud hole stomped in me by Stone Cold Steve Austin. That would hurt, and I don't want to hurt because I don't have my, I mean, if I had my superhero healing powers, hmm, I don't know. That's a tough choice. See, I didn't think about that before I filmed this video, so that could change things. But me, just normal me, yeah, I'd love to go watch those shows. But actually wrestling one of them, it sounds painful. Okay, now let me cue up this last thing. His last question is, have you being me, ever seen a double rainbow? The answer to that question is not only yes, but if let's see, add image. Browse, let me find it here. It's right here. I don't know how this is going to pop up on the screen, but oh, there it is. It's too big. Can I get the edge of this? Woo! Smaller, smaller. Okay, we can kind of see it. There we go. I don't know how well you can see that, but that is a double rainbow. I took this picture myself. You can see I'm sure you can see the really, really bright one on YouTube, but there is another one above it. It's a lot more dim, kind of coming out of the mountain right there. Yeah, I took that picture myself. So, yes, I have seen a double rainbow. Get this red line off the screen. I don't know if that is even going to show up on YouTube, but yeah, pretty sweet, right? I have indeed seen a double rainbow. All right, that's going to do it for this Q&A. Sorry, I think it's going to end up being a little bit long, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Again, I want to say thank you very much to every single one of you for subscribing to my channel, sticking with me, and watching my videos, especially those of you who comment on my videos. I really love the interaction of doing YouTube, so leave a comment on this video or any other video or whatever. I like interacting with you guys. Tweet at me, whatever. It's super cool. I probably wouldn't still be making videos if it wasn't for you guys. I started it just, hey, this sounds fun and entertaining, let's try it. But I think if I was just doing it for no reason, it would have gotten boring. So it's you guys that make it fun for me, and I'm glad that I can entertain you. So again, honestly, thank you all for subscribing. All 250, I think actually right now I'm at 253. So here's the 253 more. Maybe we'll do another video at 500. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how long it takes to get there. If it's like next week, which it won't be, then probably don't need another Q&A. If it's down the road in a while, maybe we can do that. Maybe we can do that. But I'm going to end this video right here. Thank you all for asking the questions. Appreciate it. Can't do a Q&A video without questions. And if you're not subscribed to me yet, go ahead down there wherever it is on YouTube when you're watching this video. Sometimes it's here and then they move it and then they move it and then they put it out in the hallway because YouTube likes to randomly change the layout. Follow me on Twitter if you're into the old Twitter machine still, or if you want to see me live stream and interact while we build things, or maybe play some other games, go follow me on Twitch as well. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye.